Oh, people are popping on already. Hi, Pamela. Say hi if you're just popping on. I'm trying to get Facebook brought up on my page here so I can see comments. There, it took a while to get it up. Hello, hello. Okay, hi Kay. Thanks for tuning in. Denise, thank you. Boy, you guys are coming on fast today. Thank you so much. Okay, so I got a few things going on today that I just want to share with you. Last week we did the drop leaf table. Hi, Denise. We did the drop leaf table and put the large transfer on it, and I showed you how to connect two transfers together and center it on your piece and everything. So I did get the legs painted on it earlier this week, so when we get everybody on here, then I'll turn the camera around so you can see what that looks like. Today we're going to focus on doing the chairs and painting them black. So I just wanted to tell you, I'm going to put the well, I have a few things to show you before we get that far. So first of all, everybody, I'm Deborah Bucher with Deborah Bucher Designs, and I'm going live today on Facebook and on Instagram. Last week on Instagram, my live was upside down, but I just left it that way. It was like, you know, that's the way life is sometimes. Hi, Mary. So, hi, Mickey. So I've got both cameras that I gotta keep track of here. And I just had a few announcements to make to everybody. First of all, I'm Deborah Bucher with Deborah Bucher Designs. I am an elite retailer for Dixie Belle, recycled, Prima, redesigned with Prima, and Would You Bend. And oh, you're at the traffic light almost home. Oh, you are one dedicated lady. I love that. Just be careful. Be careful, Mary. So I have an online shop that you can order products from, but I also have a booth at the Brass Armadillo, and you can shop there. And on the Facebook page, I have all of that contact information above. And if you haven't already liked and followed my page on Facebook, I would love it if you would. Hi, Brad. Thanks so much for joining in. So I got some new stuff in from Dixie Belle this week, and I just wanted to share it with you. Dixie Belle decided for a short period of time that they would put together two special packets of the Dixie Belle silk paint. And they have it all packaged up in this nice little organza bag. And they only have, in each set, there's two sets, and in each set there's two colors. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Julie. So in this one, it has White Cap and Bay Breeze, and it's a 4-ounce jar, and it retails for $15.99, I believe, is the price, and it is up on my website. So if you've been interested in using silk paint and you want to try it out, this is a really good way to do it. And then the other one is Cape Current and Anchor. And Anchor is the color that I used on the table and that I'll be putting on, hi Donna, and that I'll be putting on the legs today. So if you guys are interested, this is up on the website. Then they just came out with a product called Clean as a Whistle. And this is, if you've got dried on paint on your brushes, I use scrubby soap on every single brush, and it does a really great job. But if you've hi Joan, if you've left your brushes and they need extra attention to them, this is a new product that they just came out with, and it has no VOCs, it's non-toxic, it's biodegradable and non-flammable, and like everything else, it's made here in the good old USA. And I don't remember what this retails for, but it's on my website, and I've heard that it's really, really good at getting old, gunky, dry paint out of your brushes. And then they came up with a thing called a thingamajig. And the thingamajig, it has all kinds of angles and points on it, but this tool will be really good when you're using your silk stencils to help get the paint down through the screen on the silk stencil. And with all of those points and angles, that'll work really nice. So these are on the website as well. And then I have all kinds of show and tell you guys. I got this galvanized Christmas tree. I am absolutely in love with this tree. I saw it online and had to have it. I found it actually, so I want you guys to start watching for it if you're interested. I found it online at Michael's, and I think it was $17 and change. And so I bought one, and then when it came, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. So I wanted to get another one so I could paint one and have one in galvanized so I could show you guys what you could do with it. Well, Michael's upped the price back on it, and it's $30-some now. So I'd like to do a class on this, and I'd like to do the class using the patinas on here, the copper and the bronze and the patina sprays. I think that would be so pretty, and it's got this gorgeous star up here. So I want you guys to watch Michael's, and we're looking to see if we can find them any less expensive.
Lowe's, $25, free shipping.
Okay, my brother just said Lowe's has them for $25 and free shipping, and I had to pay shipping at Michael's, so that works out about the same. So if you guys would like to do something like this, I'm going to put a patina paint kit together, and you find your trees, and then we will do a private online class on how to patina and paint these trees together. So if you guys are interested, just shoot me a message and let me know that you're interested, so I know how many kits to put together, and we'll get that done pretty soon, because I just think this is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Then the last thing I wanted to show and tell today is my brother found some tools that he ordered, some bits. What kind of bits were they? Router bits came in a box that was similar to this, and I said, that is such a pretty box, but it was retrofitted for all of those bits to stay in there, so it wasn't a box I was going to reuse. Hi Virginia, just send me a private message so I can keep track of everybody that's interested. I think it's just going to be one of my favorite pieces. Using the, I just went blank, you guys. Using the paint and the spray for that technique is really a fun thing to do. Patina. I just went blank, you guys, in and out. But anyway, I got a load of these boxes in, and they are beautifully made. And I found some patina. Thank you, Mary. I found some brass legs that, you know, mold around to the side here, and so it makes little legs on these. And so I thought, well, this would be another one of those classes that would be really fun to do. And this measures, let's see, where is my flexible ruler? I have to find it every week. Okay, so this measures 8.5 inches long and 5.5 inches wide and is probably 3.5 inches deep. But you can see what beautiful wood it is, and I'm going to do something really special with it, and I'll show you guys, and then we'll do a class on that, a private class. So those are all the things that are going on. I'm going to move all of this stuff out of my way. I have stuff everywhere, you guys. It's a dangerous place at my house. Okay, so I'm going to turn both cameras around so that you can see what we did with the table. Yay, Mary. That makes me very happy. You are one dedicated friend, I'll tell you. It's funny because I've done that with people that I love watching, and one of them is Roy Cycle. I love watching her. I also go to bed and turn her on Sunday nights with a glass of wine, so now you guys know all my secrets. So I'm turning Instagram around first and getting you focused on the table. I think that's a good view of it. So we did that last week. I'm going to turn Facebook people around. Oh, Instagram's in your way. Okay. I have cameras, lights, paint, furniture in various stages of being done. Okay, so I think I have both of you on the camera. I need to check Instagram. Yep, you're still there. So last week I painted the tabletop with seawater silk, and it had 3 coats on it, and that is so beautiful, and it sands out so beautifully. I really, well, not sands out, it levels out so beautifully, and you don't have to sand on it. And then last week we put on the transfer, and it's a really large transfer, about this big, but we just cut the center of it out, and this particular part had a seam right down the middle, so then we had to center it and match up the seam. And so if you haven't done large stencils before, if you catch last week's video, then that'll teach you how to do large stencils. They're a little intimidating, they're a little tricky, and if you just take your time with them, they turn out really pretty. And I'm not sure if I roll the cameras back if you can see the legs or not. Yeah, you can on Instagram. I painted them the black that we're going to use on the chairs today. And let's see if Facebook can see. Yep, you can see the legs too. And this black is beautiful. On the chalk paint line, my favorite black is Caviar because it's just so deep and rich. And this is like that. It is like you've gone into the abyss or in outer space. I mean, it is such a deep, dark black. It's just gorgeous. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to turn you guys back around. You have no idea how challenging this is, you guys. Electrical cords. Okay. So let me make sure I have everybody back in focus again. Excuse me reaching over in front of you guys. Okay, so Instagram's in focus, and let me get Facebook in focus. I could set up a third camera for YouTube. That would make it just a blast. That even cracked my brother up. Okay, you guys, so the paint that we're going to use on the chairs is the same as what I put on the legs, and it's silk in the color Anchor, and that's one of the colors that comes in the 4-ounce sample if you wanted to give it a try. And this silk paint I love for kitchen cabinets, which I'm still in the process of finishing, because kitchen cabinets normally take a primer, your paint color, and a top coat, and multiple coats of each one of those, so that's a lot of painting. And with the silk paint, it has all 3 of those things in one container. So I have a primer, I have the paint color, and I have a top coat. And so I only have to paint on 1 or 2 coats and I'm finished. And I showed you the legs of the table, and the legs only have 1 coat of paint on them. I still have to go back and put a 2nd coat, but you could see what great coverage they had. And they were the same color as these chairs. And also, I should mention, on these chairs, these chairs were all varnished up. And varnish, if something's varnished, you generally need to slick stick it. And slick stick is for adhesion, it's not a primer, and people get confused about that. Let's see. Hi, Rhonda. Good for you, Mary. I love going to Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I mean, I could spend a fortune there. So what I did to get this ready to go is I didn't want to slick stick it because, like I said, when you're doing chairs are pretty labor intensive. And I didn't want to put 2 coats of slick stick on and then go with my paint. So I opted to take my sander and sand that varnish off, and then, because it's not shiny anymore, I took the varnish off, and then I used white lightning and cleaned it really well with a rough sponge and white lightning, and then rinsed it really well with fresh clean water. And I can feel a tooth. It's so nice when you use white lightning because it really does give you a tooth, and I know that the paint is going to adhere well on it. So with the silk paint, and I know I tell you this every time, you guys, but it works different. Look at that. Can you see how deep that is with 1 stroke? It works different than the chalk paint. And so you want to load your brush up really well, and you start with a dry brush. You do not use water. Put your water away so you don't accidentally pick it up. And just don't overwork it. Just put your coat down and then stop. And I'm going to just go ahead. I know this is off camera, but I'm going to just do the underneath part of this. So even if you see brush strokes on it, as it's drying, it will self-level. Yep. And the other thing is, don't overwork it, because this has a top coat in it. Remember I said it has a top coat? Well, that top coat is on the outer surface, and it's going to start drying first, and that is going to put like a skin that's dried on the top of your surface, and then when you start overworking it and going back and forth, then you're creating brush strokes. So just put it on, be liberal with your brush. And the other thing is that this has a longer drying cycle than the chalk paint does, because again, that top coat has sealed it, so it takes longer to get dry on the inside. And this silk paint comes in some really beautiful colors. So when you're thinking about projects, and I'm not saying this replaces chalk paint by any means. I love chalk paint. What I'm saying is think about what your project is and what kind of finish you want. So like on bathroom cabinets, kitchen cabinets, this is really the way to go. On some pieces of furniture, this is really the way to go. Like on a kitchen piece that's going to have a lot of labor involved in it, I highly recommend this. But just remember, the rules are completely different. Now, in silk paint, you can actually mix 2 or more silk paint colors together to make a custom color, but you cannot use chalk paint with silk paint. Chalk paint is chalk paint and silk paint is silk paint. So, hi Darcy. So does anybody have any questions so far? You guys are being very quiet. If you had a question and I missed it, you can either go back and ask it again, or when the live is over, I always go back and look through the questions. And if I didn't say hello to you and you're watching, I'm sorry. Sometimes they just go by so fast I can't catch them all. But I sure do appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a wonderful group of followers.
I do. So another thing, you know, I always do another live on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock, but this week I'm going to need to reschedule that live. My brother and I have an appointment at the Mayo Clinic tomorrow, and we're really excited about that. And it's really difficult to get into the Mayo Clinic, and so when they said they had availability tomorrow, I said absolutely. So I will reschedule it, and I've had multiple requests to do a demonstration on how to use the molds. And so what I will be demonstrating is how to use the clay, how to use the resin, and some tips and tricks so that it's successful and not frustrating. There's some tricks to learning how to do it.
I think it's McCarty Hopkins wants to know how much silk paint is.
The sample jars that have, it's 2 4-ounce jars, they are on my website, and I believe, I just did it this afternoon, I believe they're $16.99, something like that. I'm not positive, but you can look it up on my website, and my website is listed at the very top of this Facebook post. And the samples come in, each one comes in 2 colors to give you some idea. And then if you're buying the same size 16-ounce jar that I have, that is $24.99, I think. So maybe it's $15 for the samples. Honestly, I can't remember.
We had so many new products to get loaded.
Yeah. I just finished a big sale for Prima Redesign products last week. That was a really big one. And I still have a few more to ship out. Some beautiful designs. And if you haven't heard me talk about it before, I'll be at the Pinners Conference again this year. And I had a meeting this morning with Dixie Belle going over all the details of that. The Pinners Conference is super fun. I have it on my Facebook page where there is a link so that you can get registered. All the Dixie Belle classes are free and they go super fast. And I checked in with the Pinners people this morning to see how full the classes are, and they haven't gotten back with me yet. So if you're interested in going to the Pinners Conference, I would suggest that you get registered and get signed up for it. My classes, I have 3 classes that I'm teaching. Like I said, they're all free, but I'm telling you, there's some amazing, cool classes being taught. And I wish that I would have an opportunity to take some of those classes myself, but it's too crazy busy. I did this last year and there is no time for me to go explore. But you guys can, and I really suggest that you do it.
Melissa Upton said she just received hers today.
Yay, Melissa! Melissa's one of my good friends and teammate. Pamela's on here, Pam Davis, and she is too.
Meredith.
And if you want to help out at the Pinners Conference this year, send me a private message. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but we do have a lot of fun. And I'm going to be starting our monthly meetings to be organized here very shortly. So normally doing chairs is, like I said earlier, labor intensive. So you can see that just having, if you had to put 3 coats of everything on here, plus your gator hide, and I will gator hide. That table, I haven't put a satin coat on it yet. Anytime you use a transfer and you want to gator hide something, you need to put satin as a barrier between your transfer and the gator hide, because gator hide does not play well with transfers. And so I need to put satin top coat on there. Even though it already has a top coat on there, I need to protect that transfer. And then, because it is a tabletop and it will have food and beverages and plates scraping across it, and it's a high use area, I am going to gator hide the top of it. I don't have to gator hide the legs, I don't think, but I do need to gator hide the top of it for sure. And these chairs, I will gator hide also, because chairs get a lot of wear and tear on them. And I just want to ensure that this holds up for a good long time. So even though I'm using, if it was something other than high traffic, like I didn't gator hide my kitchen cabinets because I know this paint will cover all of that. So I realized, like on the side back here doesn't have paint. A couple of these rungs on the other side doesn't have paint. And when I flip the chair around, I'll get those. I think I can get this one right here. So this is one coat, and it's great coverage for one coat. I don't know if it shows up in the camera, but there are streaks on it. So it will definitely need another coat on it.
But it's beautiful.
Thanks. This set is really a sentimental set. It belonged to my niece's Grandma and Grandpa. And when they passed, she called me up and asked me if I wanted it. And I said, of course I do. I love, love, love drop leaf tables. But I also loved her grandma and grandpa. And so I thought it was really cool that she asked me. And then she sent me a text last week after she saw the live of me putting the transfer on it. And she told me how much she loved it. And that just made it worth everything, you guys. And
It's made in Italy, wasn't it?
No, it was actually, this was made in Vietnam, but it's really, really well made. This is beautiful wood on here. None of these legs or joints or anything are rickety. No squeaking. This was really beautifully made. So I just realized that you guys can't see where I'm painting here, so give me a second and I'll flip things around. Gonna flip it. I'll probably have to readjust the cameras too. This is a heavy chair. It's not a big chair, but it's a really heavy chair. That's what I mean. This wood was amazing. Oh, I just scratched up back here. Okay, let me see where all of my camera angles are here.
Mostly on the left.
I'm gonna move you up. Okay, and this one. Okay, so there we go. Back in business. Am I missing any questions? Yes, Melissa, I know you're in. My brother found some of the new Skechers tennis shoes on sale at Kohl's. So I'm going to watch out for the next sale and get some, because man, you need good shoes at the Pinners Conference. And I had good shoes on last year, but it was weeks before my feet stopped hurting.
That's the new glide steps.
The new glide steps?
Yes.
Ugh. I can't tell if I got up there or not. I don't think I did. Another way to, if you're using chalk paint and painting chairs, another way to do that when you have a lot of rungs is, hang on, I just want to smooth that out, is to use this one's used, so pretend this isn't here. But if you use these stain applicator pads and you put your paint in the crease there, in the crease, and then just take it and rub it between the rungs or rub it between the legs on the chair. I almost said between your legs, but that wouldn't be a good idea. The legs and the rungs on the chair, that helps with the chalk paint. That really helps get the coverage on faster.
Melissa wants to know how that new sander of yours is working out.
So far, so good. I actually used that sander. My brother, I wanted a Surf Pro sander, and they start at $500. And that's just not in my budget right now. So I was talking to my brother about it. And so he did some research and study on what makes a Surf Prep such a cool sander. And then he ordered a sander and put special pads together. And that's what I sanded this chair with, and it worked really well. But I've never used a surf prep, so I need to get one of my friends that has one, let me borrow it to see what the comparison is. But sure was a lot less money. What did that end up costing, Mike?
Under $100.
Yeah, under 100.
And it's quick.
Yeah, I got the table and chairs done in lickety-split. However, it does have a dust bag on it, and it was, you know, like 120 degrees outside, so I just did it here in the house. I don't recommend you do that, because even though it has a dust bag, holy cow, I have a lot of dust in here. So when I did, that was the table, so when I did the chairs, I did go out and sweat. And I guess it was okay because I lost another pound. I'm back on keto. So the exercise and the sweating and sticking to my keto diet is paying off.
And building your new workshop.
Yeah, my brother's been building me a wood workshop with amazing tools and stuff that I have no idea how to even use, and some of them are a little bit scary. But when we have time, he's going to teach me, and he's going to be building me some cool wood projects too for us to do. So we got plans, everybody. We got lots of plans.
Lisa says, hello, I'm late.
Hi, Lisa. It never matters what time you come in, honestly. I'm always happy to see you. And you guys, when you watch a replay, I would appreciate it if you would just at least put pound replay so that I know that you were there. For a couple of reasons. I want to know that you watched it, but that also helps my algorithms with Facebook, and then they share my post to a larger audience. And you know, it's so funny because a friend of the family, I won't name her, but a friend of the family was at my granddaughter's birthday party over the weekend, which was a big extravaganza. And she told me that she always watches my lives, and she has for a long time, because she told me what furniture she really loved and stuff, and I was just flabbergasted. I never ever knew that she watched, and you know, she never commented or anything, and it truly means a lot to me to know that you guys share your day, your afternoon. And there's so many fabulous artists on Facebook to watch, that the fact that you guys consistently tune in with me is such an honor. And so to know that you've been here it means a lot to me. So just think about that. And not just on my videos, but when you're watching other people's videos, if you're enjoying it, or if you're a regular follower, let them know. So, let's see. Yeah, you can see them back here on the back part. Love this paint, you guys. So one of my girlfriends, she's a painter also, and she used, when Slick Stick first came out, she used it on metal file cabinets, and then she did some stencils on them, and then she did some that had transfers on them. And then she sold them on Marketplace, and they sold within minutes every single time. And she used the silk paint on them, and they were really, really pretty. And I just noticed today, I didn't look closely, but I just noticed today that AJ Vintage did the same thing. She did all of her office file cabinets and did some really cool design work on them and used a transfer on them, and they were really, really pretty. So if you guys want to, file cabinets, I see the metal file cabinets, but you can use any kind, but I see the metal file cabinets at Goodwill all the time. You can pick them up for nothing. And if you've got college students or children and they need to be able to keep themselves organized, you can do it to match their bedroom.
Lisa says she loves learning not only technique, but what products are out there and how to use them.
Thank you, Lisa. You guys, if you ever are getting ready to work on a project and you have a question about it, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to answer questions and help you be successful in what you're trying to do. That's why we do these live videos, is to show people ideas and how easy and doable this is. I mean, people think when they look at a piece of furniture that's been redone, they're intimidated by it, but if you break it down step by step, it's super easy. And this is they call it the best dang paint on the planet, and that is not an exaggeration. It really isn't. I've used a lot of different chalk paints and furniture paints and spray paints and all of it. And the one that I didn't like the most was Annie Sloan. That was just horrible, and that turned me off of chalk paint for years and years. And then there was a shop up in Prescott that I used to go into a lot, and she had the most beautiful painted furniture, and it wasn't all furniture painted white like you see a lot of times. That white sells. White is still the best seller. But she had beautiful, beautiful colors. And so like the third time I was in there, I asked her what kind of paint was she using, because I'd never seen colors like that before. And she told me it was Dixie Belle paint, and I'd never heard of Dixie Belle paint before. So I went and found a retailer and bought some paint and painted a dresser in the navy blue. And then the next week I called Dixie Belle up and asked them what I needed to do to sell their paint. It was kind of crazy. I was going through a breakup at the time and was depressed. And obviously I was impulsive because I just did it, and I didn't even think it through. I really didn't think it through. But I've not regretted it. It's almost 3 years later, and I still love Dixie Belle paint as much as I did the first time. And what drew it to me is honestly the beautiful colors. And the chalk paint has over 75 colors to choose from. And then all of those, because they're water-based, are all mixable. So then you have an infinite amount of colors that you can come up with. And all of their products are water-based, so they all work well together. and there's no VOCs, so it's child safe, food safe. If you have sensitivities and can't deal with the odors and smells and stuff, this is really great paint because I paint inside all the time. If you don't know, I live in Arizona and it's super hot here in the summertime. And then it gets chilly in the wintertime and it's too cold to paint in the garage in the wintertime. And there's like a small window of opportunity that I can paint. I gotta move this. I've hit it twice.
Are you wearing shorts in the wintertime here?
Yeah. Well, that's why people come here in the wintertime, because it's so pretty. Oh yeah, Mary, you told me you tried it. Honestly, you guys, I'm not fooling you. I'm not trying to sell you just to sell you. If you've got a project, I highly recommend you give Dixie Belle a try, and then pick the right paint for the project. Chalk paint is great for most things, but like I said, on a project like this, the silk paint is amazing. And when I heard they were coming out with this line, I actually waited to do my kitchen cabinets until they did come out with it, because I knew it was going to save me a ton of money and a ton of time. Because if you think about it, on projects like that, if I had to buy the primer and the paint and the top coat and then do all of those coats separately, it would have cost me a whole lot more money. Huh. Well, to each their own. I wonder if those people have ever used chalk paint. You know, we all have our loyalties. There's different brands of paint. I've never used Wise Isle, but I hear good things about it. And I've never used Fusion, but I hear good things about that too. Although I hear Fusion is a lot different than Dixie Belle chalk paint. But I did use Annie Sloan, and I don't care if somebody gets upset or not. That was terrible. That was a terrible experience. And very few colors and very expensive. And the wax was just the worst. The worst. And that's just the truth. Yeah, Mary, that's been my experience too. So if you guys tuned in late and missed the beginning, in the beginning I was talking about some new products that Dixie Belle just released a week ago, and I just got mine in this week. And it was a brush cleaner, and then there's a set of sample silk paints. You get 2 4-ounce jars with 2 different colors for half the price. I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but they're on my website. And then the thingamajig to help put the silk stencils on. Oh, and then I showed you guys 2 other projects that is a Christmas tree, and it's a metal Christmas tree. It's super pretty, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm going to do a private class on that one using the patina paints, the copper and the bronze, and then the patina spray. And so if you guys are interested in that class, send me a private email, but you need to go out there and find that tree, and I'll post a picture on my Facebook page so you know what tree we're looking for. And my brother said he found them at Lowe's for $25 and free shipping, and I bought it at Michael's and I paid shipping, so that comes out about the same. And I'll post a picture of it. I'll show it again before I hang up here.
And I'll get you a link.
Yeah, my brother will give you a link to Lowe's. So I want to say one more tip with the silk paint. On your brushes, when you're done, you know how I always say put your brush in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the refrigerator, because you've got a lot of paint loaded up in this brush and you don't want to waste it. Sadly, with the silk paint, you need to get this paintbrush in water and get it washed right away, because again, you've got that top coat in it, and that top coat is going to start to sit and dry, and then you're going to have a really hard time getting your brush cleaned up. So I'm going to go stick this in the sink real quick. I'll be right back. And you guys might think that, oh my gosh, she just painted a chair, and we've seen her do that a million times. But I just want you to know that there is a difference in the silk paint and the chalk paint, and I just want you to be happy and successful, and that's why I did it again. Let me move the Instagram camera around. Maybe I can get a job on Fox News. Camera woman. Okay, that might be right on Instagram, or it might not. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that worked out good. Hello, everybody. So I just want to tell you again, of course, I'll talk about it and it'll be posted before it happens, but I showed everybody at the very beginning this really cool galvanized metal Christmas tree, and I think it measures 18 inches. They had them in 2 sizes, but I wanted the biggest one. And I got this one at Michael's, but my brother has been looking around and he found them for $25 at Lowe's, and I'll post the link for you guys. What I'm going to do with this is, and I will have one done so that you guys can see what it looks like. What I plan on doing with it is using the copper and the bronze patina paints. And if you've never used them before, they're gorgeous, just all by themselves without doing anything with them. So I'm going to paint this using those. But then when you use the patina spray, and it comes in blue and it comes in a green, and you spray it on, or you can brush it on so that you have more control over it, then you get the most beautiful patina. You know how copper turns verde green and bronze turns a little bit on the bluish side as it ages? That's what will end up happening on this tree, and I think it will just be stunning, and I'm super excited about it. And so this will be a private class, and I'll put those products together in a kit so you don't have to buy 1 jar of bronze and 1 jar of copper and the patina. I'm going to put it all together in a kit. You go out and find your tree. And it'll be a private class. It won't be on public. And then the other thing that I was excited about were these really beautiful wooden boxes. And the wood grain in them is super pretty. And I also ordered some feet, some bronze or brass feet that are ornate to put down on the corners so that the box will stand up. And it's super pretty on the inside. And I haven't figured out yet exactly what we're gonna do with it, but this will be another private class where you'll get a kit and we'll all do it together. And so those, watch for those to be coming up. So everybody, does anybody have any questions about today? No questions? Okay, well, I think we're just a few minutes ahead of schedule, but gosh, I've told you everything I have to say. So if you guys do have any questions, let me know. And if you've asked a question and I missed it, or I missed saying hello to you, I always go back after the video and say hello. And you can always catch me on the replay. And I guess that's it, you guys. Oh, and I will not be here tomorrow.
Oh,
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah, we're both really excited to be able to get my brother into Mayo Clinic and very confident that they're going to be able to heal him, and because we got lots of plans, we got lots of things to do, and so we're super excited about that. That's our first appointment tomorrow, and prayers are always appreciated and welcome. So I want to just say on that note that normally I do my crafting class on Wednesdays. It's going to be rescheduled. I'll post it on my Facebook when I get it rescheduled. It's going to be the class on how to use the molds and how to use them with paper clay and the 2 kinds of resin. And thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. And that's what the next one will be. So you guys just watch for an event on my Facebook page and we'll get to it. All right, you guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, Melissa.